What's going on, everybody? GoodMicWork commentaries back at you with another edition of The One-Off, and I am recording this episode when I am extremely under the weather. But I didn't want to wait until later this week when I feel better. This feels like something that I have to address right now, and that is the absolute horrid, horrendous, abysmal pile of steaming shit that was handed to us tonight, Monday night, November 26, 2018, on Monday Night Raw. I'd rather have James Ellsworth sneeze in my mouth than watch a Raw this bad. This legitimately, and I'm not even exaggerating and embellishing this, I honestly believe that this was one of the worst Monday Night Raws we have ever seen in its 26-year history. Could you imagine, if you will, for 1 minute, if we didn't have Seth Rollins and Dolph Ziggler on this show in an Intercontinental title match? Can you imagine this Raw without that match? My God, what the hell did we even watch tonight? Now, luckily for me, I was doing my live stream like I always do every Monday night. I do my live Raw watch-alongs, and even when we have a really shitty Raw, we always manage to amuse ourselves and to entertain ourselves, and we chat, and we don't really let it get to us that much. That's kind of the purpose of my Raw streams, is so we can all hang out and chat when we're watching a damn near suicidal Monday Night Raw. But tonight was so extra ridiculously bad that I had to just come up here and say something. I know there's going to be a lot of other YouTubers doing the same thing. When I signed off of the live stream and I got on Twitter, I'm being tagged in a ton of tweets from various colleagues around the YouTube community. Everybody is fed up to here with Monday Night Raw, and a few people are even saying that they're going to take a sabbatical from WWE. Now, this happens a lot whenever we get a pay-per-view people don't like, or whenever somebody's favorite loses, or somebody who wins a belt who shouldn't win a belt, or whatever. You always have the fans coming out of the woodwork saying that they're going to cancel their network, or they're going to quit watching, or whatever. And I always usually kind of snicker at that and laugh at that, because I know that they are full right to the top of their heads with shit, and they are not going to quit watching WWE. But this is one case where I think the fans have every right in the world to complain. I mean, what the hell? WWE, what are you doing, man? With all the fucking money you have, with the great talent you have on your roster, with the millions of dollars you spend on production and creative teams and shit like that, this is the best you can do? And I'm telling you what, it ain't going to get any better for all the people that are saying they're going to take a sabbatical from WWE. You picked a hell of a month to do it, because Decembers usually generally suck anyway. I've been saying for years that if WWE ever did an off season, which I know they will never do, December should be the month to do it, because it's usually a quiet, boring month. And it ain't going to get any better, because this year, Christmas Eve and New Year's Eve both fall on Monday nights. So you know those two final Raws of the year are going to be kind of shitty, because they're not going to be very special. It's going to be a big night. Not a lot of people are going to be watching, because people are going to be doing New Year's Eve shit or Christmas Eve shit with their families or whatever. Whenever TV shows fall on these big holidays, we can never really expect that much. We already have two Raws at the end of December that we know are going to suck a giraffe dick. So what are we going to get between now and then? We have TLC coming up, but goddamn, they didn't do jack shit on this Monday Night Raw to make me excited for TLC at all. It's not 100% their fault. They got a lot of people on the shelf right now. The champion is not around. The number one contender is not around. Braun Strowman has had elbow surgery, and he's on the shelf for a little bit. You've got no Roman Reigns, of course. You got Kevin Owens out, and you got Sami Zayn out, and you got a lot of problems right now, but it's still manageable. You know, what's wrong with getting some of this other great talent to rise up while these other guys are injured? I mean, when you look back and you read the results of Raw tonight, what happened that was important? We saw Elias and Finn Balor get their asses kicked in the opening match and the final match in the main event. That might be setting up some sort of an interference at TLC, maybe with Elias and Balor being destroyed much in the same way Braun Strowman was last week. Maybe they will help out Braun Strowman in his match with Baron Corbin at TLC. Maybe that's the seed they were planting there. I don't know, but still, it was kind of boring for the most part, and I can't understand why Drew McIntyre continues to feel the need to start random three-man factions all the time. You know, as far as I'm concerned, the guy should just be on his own. Like I said, Seth Rollins and Dolph Ziggler tore the house down for the Intercontinental title, and we also had the tag team titles on the line. Think about that. One of the worst Raws that we've ever seen in history had two title matches on the show. What does that tell you about the state of the product? At least Seth Rollins and Dolph Ziggler went out there and performed. And that's the one thing I'll hand to the talent, is that a lot of times they can rise up above the shitty booking. So I got no issues with Seth or Ziggler tonight. But that Raw tag team title match, oh my God, are you fucking kidding me? Bobby Roode and Chad Gable get the title shot because they beat the AOP last week. So what do they do this week? They play off the fact that Drake Maverick pissed his pants at Survivor Series, so now they have Drake Maverick steal Bobby Roode's robe during the match, put it on, dance around in it, go backstage, check himself out in the mirror, take the robe off, put it in the toilet, and take a piss on it. Thank you, Vince McMahon, for that. That has your name written all fucking over it. Your fingerprints are smeared all over that angle. Poo-poo and pee-pee. Vince McMahon at 72 years old still thinks this bullshit is funny. And the creative team's not going to speak up and say anything because they're a bunch of fucking pussies. I mean, how much money does WWE spend on writers? How many writers do they have now? A couple of dozen? Millions of dollars are being spent annually to cover these guys' salaries, and this is the type of show they give you? And the funny thing is, I've seen a lot of angry tweets, a lot of people jumping the gun. Oh, the entire creative team should be fired and blah, blah, blah. That's not going to do anything. You can fire the entire creative team and bring in new writers, and I guarantee you the show will suck just as bad. I think it's the philosophy that has to be changed. I think it's this copy, cut, and paste nonsense that we're getting every week. It's too much TV. It's too much wrestling. 3 hours is too much. Not having the overrun helps that they're cutting it off at a solid 3 hours, but still, it's just too much wrestling where you literally run out of shit to do and you have to repeat matches week after week after week to try to stay on track. But they don't even really stay on track. They're all over the place. They seem like they all have their heads collectively up their asses at once. And I just don't understand. Last week on SmackDown was the same thing. It was one of the worst SmackDowns we've ever seen. And that was coming off the heels of one of their biggest pay-per-views of the year when a huge storyline took place with SmackDown being swept by Raw and got their asses handed to them. And Shane McMahon comes out there on TV and acts like he doesn't give a shit. Who cares? Yeah, Raw whipped our ass. No big deal. Now I'll have some little comedy segment with The Miz, and we'll have a tag team match against a couple of local jobbers, and they'll beat us. That'll make us look good. Tonight's Raw literally gave us nothing. The tag team title match was a fucking joke. We had a meaningless match between Ember Moon and Alicia Fox, a meaningless match between Jinder Mahal and No Way fucking Jose. We also had a meaningless segment with Alexa Bliss holding an open forum with Sasha and Bayley that was horrible and cringy, and every single thing that came out of the mouths of Sasha Banks and Bayley gave me lupus. I mean, Alexa Bliss is doing okay. By the way, she was given control of the women's division by Applebee's waiter Corbin on Monday Night Raw. So she has kind of a new role, I guess, while she's, healing up and hopefully can get cleared to return to the ring at some point. So this is clearly something that they're giving her to do to kill time, which is fine. And Alexa Bliss, I think, is good in that role. But that segment, what was the point of it? Why were they even out there? Why was this taking up 15 minutes of TV time? We had the Lucha House Party versus the Revival. Think about that. 5 great wrestlers involved in a match that was fucking stupid. WWE has 3 Mexican luchadors, and the only thing they can think of to do is put them in a faction together and have them come out to the ring together carrying fucking piñatas. You racist fucks. I mean, my God, who the hell's coming up with this shit? It's ridiculous. And you guys know me. I'm always cup half full. I always give WWE the benefit of the doubt. I always get on the fans' case for going way overboard and flipping out and say they're going to cancel their network and Vince McMahon should die and all this crazy shit that the fans say anytime their panties get in a bunch over a TV show. This is one of the rare times where I am 1,000,000% on their side. Fuck WWE. Fuck this nonsense. It's a good thing I do have this YouTube channel, because if I didn't, I guarantee you there's no way I'd sit through more than 5 minutes of that bullshit we saw tonight on Raw. So luckily for me, I get to hang out with 400 of you every week. The Raw streams are very fun. I will continue to do that. I'm not going to stop watching because we have each other, right? It's a lot of fun. But I just think that WWE, at the end of the day, I really, truly, honestly think that they don't care. I don't think that they care. Look at the money that they're bringing in from TV deals now. What's the incentive to write a good show? There's no competition. There's no WCW. TV ratings mean absolute shit compared to what they used to mean. I mean, TV ratings are still kind of important, but I don't think WWE is gauging everything on TV ratings. They have the network now. There's a lot of other things to take into consideration, and TV ratings are definitely not as important as they used to be, but they still are important, and WWE has been hitting record lows week after week after week after week. This is 1994, 1995 level shit right here, and it shouldn't be, because look at the goddamn talent roster. Just read it. Just write the names down. Forget what brand they're on. Forget all of that. Just write down the talent in WWE, and hell, even add NXT in there. And look at those names. Look at that amazing group of talent. Great wrestlers. Best talent anywhere in the world. I don't care what you say. But it's how they're presented. It's how they're pushed. It's how the storylines go. It's how this dumbass WWE nonsense that we see week after week, it's just nauseating. I understand WWE gears their product towards kids. I'm willing to accept that. I don't mind the PG rating shit. I think you can have good, quality, intriguing wrestling with a PG rating. The problem is WWE has no clue most of the time how to achieve that. Every now and then they'll throw a great Raw at us, a great SmackDown at us, and a lot of times we get good pay-per-views. Even though the builds for a lot of these pay-per-views suck, what happens? Think about back in 2018 so far this year. We've had a lot of pay-per-views throughout the year that we have felt collectively as wrestling fans that the build has sucked for. But the talent always comes through. Look at Evolution. Look how good that pay-per-view was. Everybody was saying, I'm not going to watch it, and it's bullshit, and they're only doing it because of Crown Jewel and this and that, and I'm going to boycott it. Fine, whatever. The women still came through and gave us a good quality show. So a lot of times the talent saves the day, but nobody can save Raw from this nonsense. So I just basically wanted to come up here for a few minutes and complain about it. Like I said, I have nothing written down. I'm going completely off the top of my head here. But every year, I just know since I've been doing commentaries over the past few years, seems like every year, late November until the end of the year just sucks. The Monday Night Raws suck. The SmackDowns suck. The pay-per-views suck. It's a lot of it's holiday themed, which is just dumb. And I'm like, man, just give the entire fucking roster the month off. Let them go spend time with their families during the holidays. Nurse up some nagging injuries. Run clip shows every Monday night, maybe bring everybody together for 1 week for the Slammy Awards in a big banquet hall like they used to do back in the 80s and 90s, and do that 1 week. Basically fill your TV shows with other bullshit and give these guys the fucking month off since December sucks anyway. And I've been saying that for the past 4 or 5 years. But they're not going to do that. Too much money to be lost. And it's the holiday time. Parents might want to buy kids tickets to a WWE show for Christmas. So you can't really take the month of December off. I understand that. But I just think it would really benefit everybody. It would benefit the fans. It would benefit the talent. It would benefit the creative team and everybody that, is responsible for producing a TV show week after week. Give everybody, a few weeks off to kind of refresh, recharge their batteries, kind of regroup to get your storylines ready for WrestleMania. It feels like every single week they're just flying off the cuff. Feels like Vince and Triple H and 2 other people are, sitting around a table, picking the dingleberries out of their ass while they're eating a sandwich and trying to write Monday Night Raw. Oh, it'd be funny? Let's have Drake Maverick pee on Bobby Roode's robe. Oh, yeah, that'd be funny, Vince. Let's do it. Yeah, write it down. Book it. What the fuck, man? I hate coming across as that fan that knows it all and that fan that knows better and knows how to fix things. I'm not saying that. I'm just saying that this is so goddamn bad that it's almost scary. It almost really makes you think that WWE doesn't care. They have no motivation or no reason to make their TV shows good because they're getting their money at the end of the day. They might get some initial backlash from fans if they give them a shitty Raw or something, and they might lose a few thousand network subscriptions or whatever. But at the end of the day, they're not going to lose any money. And that's what it's about. It's about money. WWE stock is never going to drop or fall based on how good Monday Night Raw was. So the fans, I don't know how much power they have. They can all say, oh, I'm going to quit watching Monday Night Raw. But that's only going to be temporary. I mean, hell, next month, shit's going to get exciting. Now we're on the road to WrestleMania. Now we got a big Royal Rumble show coming up in a few weeks. Then we go to WrestleMania and things are going to get a lot better. We know that. We should be in for a pretty exciting first half of 2019. But between now and then, we literally have to force ourselves to watch this shit that is really no better than a goddamn Hallmark movie special. That's all I'm going to say. I'm going to go ahead and get out here now. I just want to come up here and vent for a few minutes. Feel free to go nuts on WWE in the comments below. I don't even care. This is the one time where I'm going to be completely on board with the fans that want to tear WWE apart. I'm not going to take it as far as saying I'm going to boycott WWE and never watch again. I'll be watching next week, but I'm not expecting it to be good, and I think the entire month of December is likely to suck. TLC on paper looks good. I think the pay-per-view is going to be good. But I think the next month of TV, Raw and SmackDown are both going to be pretty horrible, especially with the final 2 Raws likely being taped. And I won't even be home to watch those final 2 of the year either on Christmas Eve and New Year's Eve because I'll be doing stuff. So there will be no live streaming during those shows. So really here, we got about 3 more weeks to go through. And then it's going to be 2019 and we're going to be looking ahead to WrestleMania. But for immediate purposes, on November 26, 2018, I am one unhappy wrestling fan. And I know you guys are too. So anyway, I'm going to get out of here, throw this episode up on YouTube so we can all vent together. Sorry for the excessive cursing and swearing in this episode. I couldn't fucking help myself. This show was so bad, I think I definitely need to go see my physician, much like Dean Ambrose did. Most likely, I will not be up here with a full podcast episode this week. Like I said, I am a little bit under the weather, and I have a brand new special episode, a Patreon donation video coming to the channel this coming Sunday, so keep a lookout for that. And you might hear me near the end of the week with another one-off episode, maybe a follow-up on this episode, and maybe we'll talk about SmackDown and how we're looking heading into TLC. But the only video I know for sure that I'm doing is this coming Sunday, and then, of course, the following day on Monday, I'll be back live streaming Monday Night Raw, so you guys can all come and suffer through it with me. I could definitely use the company. You guys take care. I'll talk to you real soon. Peace.